Pool life, it's the only life we know. Pool life, when you put it in the hole. Pool life, it's the Karlboyes show. Pool life, when you get that lucky roll.
Hi guys, welcome back. In today's episode, I'm going to shoot a few racks of 8-ball and explain my thought process on what's going on and what I've spotted on each rack. There are many different versions of 8-ball pool all over the world, from English 8-ball to American 8-ball, there's Chinese 8-ball, there's all different rules. I'm going to concentrate on the game I play, American 8-ball, the most played pool game around the world. So a few racks of 8-ball with myself. I'm going to break off wherever the balls land. I'm just going to explain what I'm looking at when I'm trying to run the table. This is not like safety shots or anything like that. No matter where the balls go, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking and I'm going to try and run the rack out, and if I make some mistakes, I'll leave them in. So here's rack one. I'm going to get breaking. So it wasn't the worst break, straight in out the kitchen with my latte, hit the break, didn't control the cue ball, but again I arced it past the middle. I'm sure you've all seen my 10-ball breaking video where I explained about that, so I'll take that. Didn't make a ball, but seeing as this is just a lesson on how to run the rack and what I'm thinking, I'm still at the table. So first glance, I can pop this stripe and I can pop the orange, so I can pop both suits. But this turquoisey green colour ball is a little bit of a funny ball. The grey 6 goes in the side, and these two do go in the corner, but they're below the 8, so it's a little bit tricky. First glance, I'm going to go with stripes. This pot's easy. I can get position on this ball, so it gets rid of that one, and then we're working down the table. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to chop and edit every shot and give you a better look at the shot and talk from various different angles. Let's go. So we're going to go stripes. We've made our mind up. The stripe goes in the pocket nice and easy. I'm going to play on the turquoisey blue colour 15 ball, and this is going to go in this side pocket. And then we've got rid of the 2 top balls in this side of the table. Now when I play position here, I've already picked out a point on the far rail where I don't want to come past. If I come past that line, it's going to make things not too difficult, but these are the things what I'm thinking. Just land lower that line and we're good to go. This ball here, this stripe goes in the corner. Need to be around the centre, still not a problem. And then we've got 4 balls on this side. Black goes in this corner. Lovely. Jubbly. So I'm going to play the first shot. Playing this with a bit of right hand spin just to find my line. And that's not bad. We've landed straight, so we're all right there. Landed nice and straight on this 15, and I've made my mind up. I'm going to roll the ball through a little bit. Don't want to come too far because I don't want to be hooked. And I'm going to get rid of this stripe next after this ball. That means all my bad balls have gone, and I can focus on these balls for the 8. Ideally, the 9, or this could be a last ball for the 8. There's options. Let's not get too carried away. Let's just focus on the pot and not overrunning position. So that's nice. We're on this one. I'll just have a quick jog round, see where I want to be. Okie dokie, that's fine. And I'm going to try and just float this ball in now with a bit of right English and just come back out into the open space area. Like so. Just drag this ball in the side, run down to this area here for the 10 in the corner, and we should be good to go. So I'm just playing this with a little bit of drag. I'm going to play it with a bit of left hand spin drag and all, just to throw the object ball in. Just means I can aim a little bit fuller on the pot. So I played the shot in the middle with a bit of left drag, the old drag to slow the cue ball down, and I played left hand spin on that. That was so I could aim a little bit fuller on the pot, and I tried to pot it off the left side of the pocket. Now I did pull out the shot a little bit. It was a bit heart in the mouth moment where I thought it wasn't going to reach, but it did reach. So now I just want to come round and have a look, because I'm going to play the blue 10 ball into this corner, and anywhere kind of in this big circle will give me a lovely angle on the purple 12 to stun into the side and come out into the middle of the table. So I've got a nice little angle just to play a stun. Obviously I've done a lot of videos, so all the videos I'm doing will all come back to when you're playing the game of pool, all the different shots you play. So I've just played a drag shot. Now I'm going to play a little stun run through shot to get the position. I'm happy with that. So I'm perfect on this stripe into the side. The 9 doesn't pass the 8 just before anybody asks. I've already checked that. Perfect angle. Stun this ball in, out into the middle of the table, anywhere in this big circle. And we've got a straight shot on the 9 and the 8 for the rack. So let's just do this. So one more glance where I need to be. Anywhere in the middle, a little stun shot, Carlito. Into the middle of the table. Straight is ideal. Off straight anywhere. And now just focus on potting the ball. And then we're on the 8 ball. So just play a little stop shot on the 8. And that's a nice easy rack. Let's get into rack 2. Absolute terrible break off shot. Probably the worst break I've ever hit. But I potted the ball, I'm at the table. First glance, problem area here, and there's an issue up here, depending on what balls you're going to take. Now, I've had a quick nosy. I can pot the blue 2, but there's distance, so that's no good. And I can pot the 11 red stripe in the corner. It's looking like stripes, purely because we've got these 2 solids here with a blocker. This solid doesn't go in this corner, doesn't go in here. So there's big issues. So we're forced into playing this stripe in the corner. Not an easy pot. The 9 ball goes in this corner. We can get position off the blue stripe. So there is a small chance on stripes if we get this first pot. So I'm going to try and knock this pot in. Because if I miss, well, it's 1-1 versus the ghost. So nice and solid and try and pot the ball. So I'm happy with that. Cued that one all right. Felt a little bit shaky on it. So, you know, we've got a good chance in this rack. So we played a good pot. We was nice and still. That was key shot on the opening ball there. We played off the far jaw. That's done and dusted. Now, I'm not on this 14. I was more just focusing on the pot because I knew I had an easy combination on. But a few things to think about here. 2 options. I could play this hard and try and pot both balls and draw the cue ball back. There's a bit of an insurance to land on this ball. Not 100% certain where this ball would go. So for me, I'm going to play a little drag shot, the old famous drag shot, pot the ball over the pocket and leave this ball in the same area. You're never quite sure what angle you're going to get, but I'll assess that after. Main thing is making sure I put a good hit on the cue ball and I pot the plant, which even in my day I was bad at plants, but I fancy potting this one. So just a little drag shot and keep the 15, which is the greeny coloured stripy ball. I want to try and keep it over that pocket, right? So let's go. Just double checking my line. That's nice. That's not too bad. I'm going to pull this ball right back. I'm going to play into a bit of an area. I'll explain. This ball is very tricky. It doesn't go in there and it doesn't go in there. It doesn't go in here because obviously this ball will stop that. It doesn't go in the side. It goes in this corner and it will go in this pocket after I've potted this ball. Now the problem is I can only land in this little area to pot it in that corner, which means it's leaving a little thin one. Don't like it. So my idea is after potting the 10 in here, I'm going to roll the 9 in that corner and play that in the top corner. So I'm going to draw this cue ball back into an area. Try and land it here. If I land it here, I'm going to get rid of this ball and come down for these 3. If I overrun it, I might have to go this ball, that ball in there, and then that one, the 8. I hope that makes sense. Tried to draw the cue ball back a little bit further. In hindsight, if I was playing a lot of pool and I was in stroke, I might risk just playing into this area and then go there, but I didn't feel too confident, so I was trying to edge my bets. So I under-hit the shot a little bit, but I'm still okay. Like I say, I can play this in the side now, get rid of that ball. A little bit more, I could have got rid of that. A little bit further, and I might have had to take rid of this one. But the main thing is, I'm in good shape here. So I'm going to just pop this ball at a little bit of an angle on the 10. So I'm always double checking. So it's a little stun shot. The only downside of this shot is there's a little bit of distance, but I think that's just because I'm out of stroke, and you know, if you're playing a lot and practicing a lot, this becomes even easier. I won't lie, I don't feel too clever, but I'm winging it not so bad. So the idea is to pop this ball in the corner, run through a little bit, then after potting the 9, I can run through for the 13, the orange ball in this corner. Key shot here, it's all about pace. You don't want to get too excited and start overrunning it, so just flowing in anywhere in this little area here would be ideal. But it's been a tricky little finish, so we're doing all right. And I think the old drag shot, this is where the old drag shot comes back in, where you can just put a nice little stroke on the ball and not be scared of rolling it or hitting it too hard. So I've played that shot perfect. I'm straight on this 9. I'm going to roll through to this area where my hand is and play the 13 in the corner. But I just want to show you something. I'm going to move the cue ball. I'm as good as straight, right? If you play the shot and you roll, let's say, there, so you don't quite land perfect on the 9, you now can't follow it through because you're coming too close to your work. You'd have to play a little stun shot up here. Don't be risking cannoning into this 4 ball. If I was to stun that into the 4 and I miss the 4, cue ball could come up and I'm hooked. So what you see a lot of the professionals do is take the medicine, take what the table gives you. They'd play a little stun shot into this area, and then they've still got a shot on the 13. Just something for you to think about, but I landed there, so I'm all right. So again, I'm just looking at my big area. Anywhere around this big circle is fine. Just roll it through. For the 13, that looks pretty good from here. Let's have a look. So as I said at the beginning, the 13 now goes in this corner. I'm absolutely straight on it. The 8 goes in the side and it also goes in the bottom. So when I walk round, I'll have a look. First glance, probably play a little stop shot, but let's have a little look. Don't be a ball banger. Let the pocket take the ball. And now we've got a simple 8. So, third rack, best break I've done. I parked the cue ball. Again, I didn't make a ball, but for the purpose of this video, it doesn't matter. It's about explaining what I'm thinking and what the rack is going on. Big problems. Can't pot a spot, a solid. So I can only pot stripes. I can pot this one, and I can pot this one, and possibly the blue 10. So I'm forced into going stripes. Big problems. How do we knock these out? Right, I've had a little nose. 8 ball goes anywhere, so I'm not worried about that. So yeah, looking at the rack, issue, and we've got to go stripes. We've got to get this ball out as early as possible. And I think I've had an idea. Okay, I'm straight on this stripe, and as I've said before, we can only go stripe. So I'm thinking a little stop shot, right? And then possibly play the 13 in the corner, as long as I land low enough. Cue ball off the side and coming up into our problem area, trying to dislodge. We could land on this. That is pretty much all I can see. If I've missed something, leave it in the comments. Let's have a go. So we're pretty good on the orange stripe. It's a tricky shot though, because I've got to play it with a bit of side off here and miss this 7 and try and find this path. It would be lovely if I could play it off 1 rail, 2 rails, and just flick the yellow one. That would be absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to have a go. It's not easy, but we're forced into this. Seeing as that was such a bad effort, I've got to have another go. Take 2. Flick the 1. Oh, I didn't flick the 1, but it was a better effort. I was more focused on the pot. Take 2 was horrific. Unfortunately, you don't get 2 takes on league night, but you do on my YouTube channel. Let's keep going. They've come out pretty nice. I've broke it out. Didn't hit the 1, but it was a very difficult shot. Main thing is I got contact and I split the balls up and I've given myself a chance. So now I can pot the 14, come out into the middle, and I have got a shot on the 9 then. So this has turned out pretty good. So let me just find my spot. I'm just going to float this in with a bit of left hand spin. So that's pretty good. My mic dropped on the last 4 balls, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. That is Karlboyes way 8 ball. I hope I've helped you in some pattern play and, you know, the thought process that goes on when you're running a rack of 8 ball and what to look for and whatnot. I'm going to be doing lots more of these videos, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, hit the button. I'll see you next time.